welcome back to the channel once again. I am Alan, this is Alan Presents, and I'm here today with the second unboxing of this week. So earlier this week we had a surprise arrival with the Batman Animated Series board game. That's the previous video to this one. If you haven't seen that and you're interested in the Batman Animated Series, I would urge you to go and see that. I had a lot of great feedback on that one, so that's really good, and I haven't had a chance to play the game just yet, but we're really looking forward to playing that one. So this unboxing is for something I've had my eye on for a while. It was always sort of a little bit out of my price range. Not to give a life story, but working in retail, hours weren't guaranteed, money wasn't guaranteed. Now that I've got a different job, it's a salary, I'm definitely getting a certain amount of hours a week and a certain amount of pay per month. So when Black Friday hit last week, and I saw this for practically half price for the core game, there was no way I could turn it down. The first expansion, the first major expansion, because there's two types of expansions for this game, which we'll get into the game in a sec. I mean, obviously you know where it is from the title card, but still. There's two smaller ones, which I haven't had a chance to pick up yet, which I've been guaranteed getting a reprint in March next year. Obviously the whole pandemic thing has kind of put everything on the back burner, unfortunately, with a lot of production and stuff. But the two expansions, the two major expansions, the first one is ridiculously hard to find. It's £80, £90, £100 on eBay, and Amazon are out of stock, and all the board game stocks, online sites are out of stock. So I just want to give a shout out to Gamers Emporium of Swansea in my hometown for having one of these in at a very good price as well. I didn't pay retail for it. They usually charge a bit less, thankfully. They're a great store. If you are in the area, go down and give them a shout and have a look and see what they've got, see what they can do for you. The second major expansion, it came out recently. I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head, but that came again from a Black Friday deal as well. So the core game and the second expansion I got on Black Friday deals, and the first major expansion I got from a shop supporting local businesses and whatnot. So that's cool. So what we've got, and then just to my right here, is The Lord of the Rings: Journeys in Middle-earth. Now, anyone who knows me, anyone who knows anything about me knows that I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Tolkien's work, The Silmarillion, The Hobbit, Unfinished Tales, Lord of the Rings, the lot of it. Baron and Luthien, The Fall of God, all of it. And this is something that has been on my radar for quite some time, but at £100 in most places, that was a bit too steep for my wallet. As I said, this was nearly half price in the Black Friday sale, so I did pick up a copy of this one. So I'm just going to go through the other two boxes before we start cracking these open. This is the one I got from the aforementioned Gamers Emporium store in Swansea. This is the Shadowed Paths expansion. Ridiculously hard to get hold of. I'm pretty sure this was the last one they had. As already stated, this goes for £80, £90, £100. The retail for this, I think, is £70. But don't quote me on that one. Again, I'm not fully up to date. I don't think there's an actual price on this box itself. But this is ridiculously hard to find, and I'm super happy that the Gamers Emporium did have this in stock. And then the second major boxed expansion is the Spreading War expansion. So this came from a site called Zatu. I think the address is boardgames.co.uk, but if you type in Zatu, Z-A-T-U, they're a really good site. I've picked up a lot of stuff for Leanne on that site and for myself. In terms of board games, if you tend to sort of, this is not paid promotion, I just want to give these sites a good shout out because they do good service. If you buy 3 games, you get 3% off. If you get 5 games, you get 5% off. So it sort of adds up on that. And obviously with the Black Friday deals, and I managed to pick up a couple of other bits and pieces, managed to get a bit more of a discount, which sweetens that pot a little bit extra, you know, especially around the Christmas time when money's flowing out your accounts left, right, and centre because you're buying gifts for everyone. Or holiday season. I don't know anyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas. So we're going to start opening these up, and I'm going to start with the core box first, obviously. So we're going to do this in the right order. So I've got my knife here. I'm just going to bash the table, apparently. I'm just going to start slicing into the cellophane. Oh, I mean, this has been here for a couple of days, and I wanted to wait until all the boxes were here before opening them all and just doing them all in one big video, as opposed to doing 3 separate ones or 2 separate ones. So I had the first expansion before I had the core game, because you know you gotta jump on things while you can, right? Okay, so a board game for adventure and exploration for 1 to 5 players. Journeys in Middle-earth is a fully cooperative board game of fantasy and adventure for 1 to 5 players. You and your friends take on the roles of the heroic characters from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, travelling through Middle-earth to battle villainous foes, make courageous choices, and fight against the evil that threatens the land. With an immersive campaign featuring branching narratives, multiple side quests, and a procedural map generation system, Journeys in Middle-earth is continually surprising and highly replayable. Throughout the game's interwoven scenarios, you must work together to unravel mysteries, fight enemies, and further the story as you protect Middle-earth from the encroaching darkness. Adventure awaits only those who are bold enough to seek it. Gather your friends, pack your bags, and find your fortunes with Journeys in Middle-earth. Now, one interesting thing, I don't think, you can't really make it out on the front of the box there, but this game does require, and you can see it just there, I'll try and zoom in when I'm editing this to sort of give a better look for you. It requires an app. So you either get on your phone or a tablet. I don't think, oh, there is a laptop or like a PC app as well. So it's on Apple iOS App Store, Google Play Store, Amazon App Store, or Steam. So this app will basically tell you what the map will look like, where you put the pieces, what's happening, and it kind of all tracks it intuitively through the app, from what I've seen. We watched a couple of videos before purchasing this. And it seems really intuitive, really takes that, oh God, I've got to go look at the rule book again kind of scenario of a lot of these complicated games like Nemesis, for example. Nemesis is a fantastic game. There's a lot of times you still have to go look at the rule book. With this, with the app, I'm hoping that that will cut that out. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it would just kind of stunts that play a little bit. So by taking that out of the equation and by using this app, I'm hoping it sort of speeds everything up on that, and I'm really looking forward to playing this on. Okay, oh, there we go. So straight off in the box, stop. And it tells you all about the app, tells you how to get it. This game cannot be played without the companion app. So you have to have the app, which is free. I should add that in, it is free. Okay. On the other side of that, we've got the Lord of the Rings living card game, which is a digital game on Xbox, PlayStation. I believe it's on PC as well. It doesn't really state on there, but that is, I have got that on my Xbox, I believe it was. You can get it on PlayStation. I'm pretty sure you can get it on PC and possibly Mac as well. So there's that for a start. Then we've got the obligatory learn to play. Obviously, you are still going to get these, and it sort of tells you how to do things, what's in the box, and so forth with that, which is pretty cool. Then we've got a rules reference. This is bigger than how to play. Okay. So then what we got here, using the reference, the map and terrain. So I guess this is more like a quick guide. Yeah, so it's all cut into sections, damage and fear, difficulty discarding. So kind of, I guess there's an index at the front. Yes, not a very good index. But okay, yeah. So this looks like this is a bit more of an in-depth thing, maybe almost like an FAQ sort of thing. Oh, there we go. There's a full index at the back. So if you did need to find something, and there is a quick reference on the back as well. That's the same one that's on this book as well. Okay. Oof, good grief. Okay, so we've got all the tiles. I will open this up. I don't usually open the separate components like cards and tiles and stuff, but this is something I'm going to do for this particular time. If I can get into the cellophane without slashing something open, including myself, that is. That's never fun, kids. Well, that okay, these are quite heavy boards as well, so it feels like it's going to be nice, thick quality. Let's call on there, so I'm not calling it. Okay. Whew, cellophane, my mortal enemy, apparently. So just to sort of show, oh, double-sided tiles. So this is what the tiles sort of look like. But these very sort of, if anyone remembers the game show Blockbusters, it's that honeycomb kind of structure to it. So you would put this one on the table, and then the app would tell you, well, you need 304A next to 205A, and you sort of build up the map as it tells you. These are double-sided as well. There are other tokens, which I don't know what they are just yet. Obviously, I've only just opened it. But yeah, that's that one. I'll see if there's anything else that's really interesting. There's a proof of purchasing on there, which is okay. That's different. I haven't seen that in a board game before. Barrels. This is some more river stuff. Oh, there's some flag stuff. Okay. Or banners, rather, not flags, sorry. So they have Sauron. I'm guessing that's some of the orc tribes and things like that. The same on either side. Yes, they're both double-sided there. So then we've got this token, looks like an eye almost, inside a triangle. On the other side, we've got kind of like a a crown, like an evil-looking crown kind of thing, maybe. More barrels, more landscapes. That is really cool. I don't know if you're going to catch that with the camera, but the detailing on these tiles is absolutely phenomenal. Fair play. And the opposite side of that one, there's like a little village. Fair play. Campfire. Oh, I think these are boss encounters or some sort of battle tiles. So these don't have any punch outs, they're just solid card. You've got the green on the one side, you've got the stone kind of thing on the other side. There's 2 of them. I think that's going to be for battles. Let's put this back. I'm going to put my knife away too. Okay. That's interesting. I thought there'd be bigger cards than that, but okay. Cool. So it looks like these are for the banners. Let's have a look and pull one of these out. Just a little clip. Just pop it on the board with the banner sticking out of it, I'm assuming. And we've got, okay, so that comes out. I mean, it's nice that they've put a print on the inside of that as well. You know, there's quite a lot of detail on the inside of the box, which isn't something I've seen before. I mean, I haven't been playing board games for that long. Leanne might have seen something like that before. She's still not feeling well at the moment, so she's MIA, as it were. Okay, here we go, minis. Let's have a look. So it's got some printing thing on the bottom. These are really well sculpted. So we've got, okay, orc archer. Could be a goblin. I'm going to assume it's an orc. It's an orc swordsman. It's got a nasty looking scimitar. Oh, the wargs, that looks cool. Very fluffy, very bushy sort of scruffy mane to that. That's really cool. There's 2 of them particular sculpts. There's an orc with 2 axes. So we're just going to sort of segregate these, see how many I've got of each particular model, and then sort of show each individual one separately. Just bear with me a second. Talk amongst yourselves a sec, folks. So I got 3 wargs, possibly 5, 6 of the scimitar dude. I've got 3 of the bowmen, or the bow orcs, I guess you call them. I've got 3 of the one with the axes. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the guy with a knife and a club. Could either be a wildman or a corsair or just a general bandit, possibly. Okay, so I've got 5 of those. No, 6 of those, I can't count. Then I've got, that looks like a barrow wight maybe. Definitely a skeleton with armor, like a remnant of an old warrior with a very flowing cloak. That's really cool, I like that. It's really cool, I like the skull. You can see the skull detail inside there as well. Hopefully when I do the close-ups of these, it'll pick it up on the camera. And then we've got what looks like a troll. Yes, it's a troll. Ugly looking thing, scars all over it. Good old loincloth. Nice texturing on the back as well. The skin texture. It's a good weight to them as well. They're not flimsy models. That's a good weight to these models. Okay, so I'll pop these back in their respective bag, and then we've got one more bag for this particular one of models to have a look at. I usually do the cards first, but I've gone a bit backwards on this one. There it is. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Okay, so these are all lighter colour in the plastic, so these are going to be the heroes. So first up, we've got the dwarf, which I'm assuming is GIMLI. It's an interesting looking axe. I do like that, and the very square textures on the armour. Definitely good look for the dwarf character. Then we've got a hobbit. Unfortunately, his sword's a little bit bent. I have to try and do the old heat trick and try and mould that back into place. It's got some detailing on the blade as well. So that could be Bilbo, I imagine, because I believe this is before the time of the Lord of the Rings. I'm not 100% certain. I think this is set before the Journey of the One Ring. And we've got an elven archer, who I'm assuming is Legolas. Again, with the armour, it's very flowy. There's not much of it, but what you can see is very flowy, very elegant looking. Okay, then we've got, there's a female with a harp. So this is some sort of minstrel. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. There could be like a rogue character, possibly with a knife instead of a sword. This is still definitely an elf because of the pointed ears. Then we've got a bow person, someone with a, not a bow, sorry, a staff. Again, it's definitely a male, it's a human. It's almost, it's sort of pulling the dagger out of the sheath, which is really cool. I like that. I haven't seen that before in a model. Sort of prepping, ready for battle, but not quite there yet. That's quite a nice sculpt, I like that. And then there's a chap with a dagger and a sword, long hair and a beard. I'm guessing that's Aragorn. The cards will tell us in a second, but that's really nice. I like that. Again, a really good sculpt on those. Really strong looking characters, very distinctive. You can tell which one's which just by sort of casting a glance over them. Okay, so now we got the cards. Good quality. They're very reminiscent of the Horizon Zero Dawn with the texture of the cards, which is really nice. So we've got a human called BARROW, which is the one with the staff. We've got GIMLI, who's obviously the dwarf. We've got Legolas, who's obviously the elf archer. We've got ELEANOR, who's an elf. We've got Bilbo, obviously who's the hobbit. And we've got Aragorn as the human. Yeah, that's really nice artwork on these as well. I don't know if we're going to catch that on the camera, but that's the Aragorn card. That kind of... Oops. I don't know if that's going to work, but let's try it again. Just adjust my hand position, like so. Just to give a bit of a taste of the artwork on the cards. There's those. So those are the player cards, the reference cards. I'm assuming that each person who's playing would have these in front of them. I'm just going to put the models back in the bag just so they don't get knocked over and so forth. And then my watch is blowing up apparently. Let me just silence this. That one. Okay, and now I've got two bags of cards. Two distinctive different backs on them. One's got a picture of a sack, so I'm guessing that's loot. And one's got a picture of a hand, so I'm guessing they're actions. I don't think I've ever seen cards stored in a Ziploc bag before either. That's interesting. And these aren't the cards I was expecting. I was expecting normal sized. I say normal size, the standard sized card that you usually get with board games. Okay, so we've got... Okay, I have no idea what any of these cards do right now. I mean, obviously I can read the text on them, but without the context of the game itself, it's probably going to be pointless. So, some of the artwork on the back of the cards is really nice, very distinct. So that's the one with a hand on it that I mentioned. Then we've got one with, again, these look like, that looks like a skill, but maybe a healing or a passive skill. Okay, and then we've got, yeah, I think all these are skills. That one's got like a picture of armor on the back of it. Just going to see if I can find all the different types. Some sort of environmental thing on that one. And then there's one with the picture of the One Ring on the back. So I'm wondering if at this point Bilbo's carrying the ring with him during this game, which wouldn't surprise me. That would make things very interesting though. find. Or I feel rather than I find. Okay, so there's those cards, and then on this pack, so we've got the ones with the sack on it. So this is food, Butterbur biscuits. Then we've got some sort of, I think that's going to be like a dread thing. Or fear, or something to that effect on that one. So I like the colouring on that, that's really cool. There's a bunch of the One Ring ones. Yeah, so that's all the different card backs on that particular one. So all in all, there's a lot of cards. I have to find the certain sleeves for these. I always sleeve the card games that I get. And the models look fantastic. Fair play, I do like the models on that. And obviously the artwork on the cards, from what I've seen thus far, is really good. Punch boards, they're going to be fun to punch out with the different sizes and the different shapes. It's cool to see how these all go together, I think. Okay, so that was the core box. Just pop everything back a sec. And then, oh, that's a stiff box as well. Fair play. Just pop that there. Okay, so then on to the first major expansion, Shadowed Paths. Ooh, just looking on the back of this, there's going to be some cringe moments in this. I'm not a big fan of anything with, should we say, 8 legs? Let's just leave it at that. And I can see some on the back of the box. Okay, so, threats rise in Mirkwood and Moria. The dwarves listened and shook their beards, for they knew that they must soon venture into that forest, and that after the mountains it was the worst of the perils they had to pass before they came to the dragon's stronghold. The Hobbit. There's an excerpt from The Hobbit. Shadowed Paths is an expansion for the Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth board game, adding new heroes, enemies, terrain, and items to all of your adventures in Middle-earth. This expansion also unlocks an all-new campaign containing 13 scenarios in which the heroes fight through the tangled paths of Mirkwood and venture deep into the shadowed halls of abandoned Moria to face ancient evils. Will you heed the call? Gather your friends, prepare your heroes, and brave the terrors of Shadowed Paths. So you can't play this one without the core game. You have to have that first. Obviously, that's the meaning of the expansion. If I can... Okay, so... Bear with me a second. So that's the sides of the box, and this one has just got the general thing, isn't it? But this one seems to have different artwork on it. So, okay, that side is different from the front of the box, as is that side. And then they sort of mirrored on the opposite sides. I do like the Balrog in the background of that as well. I don't know if I can pick that up, but the Balrog's just sort of lurking nestily in the back. So, as always, there's a rule book. Very thin one. Give the contents. Okay, it tells you 42 item cards, 3 skill card, title skill cards, 25 hero skill cards, 60 roll skill cards, and 4 terrain cards. Okay. So yeah, quite a short book, like 8-9 pages. Okay, I was going to say I'm not going to open this and go through the tiles, but I've just seen the one on the back, and that actually looks really intriguing. So no, I'm going to have to. Again, trying not to cut anything important, i.e. the game itself. I'd not like to track down another one of these after the trouble I had last time. Having heart attacks over the prices. Okay, so there's those again. Okay, so on that you've got this sort of, same as the core game, with the grass and the hills and whatnot, and the elves sort of in the trees and stuff. And then on the back of that, it's very tunnely and dungeony for some of these parts. But again, obviously that's going to be the Moria tiles. Really well detailed. I really love the artwork on that. Fair play. Assuming they're all going to be the same. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. This is another. It's incredible. They've practically not doubled as much on any of these tiles by the looks of it. So you're going to get some sort of similar things. It's a treasure room, just on that big ass tile there. That's a very big tile. But they've done a really good job in keeping these quite different all the way through. They're very thick as well. What's on the other side of that? Oh, okay, there's some sort of weird skull token there. Not entirely sure what that's about, but again, it's because I haven't played the game yet. So there's those. There's a bit of impact from where the models have been bouncing around in the box. It's a pain, but can't be helped. So I'm not going to go through the cards this time around. So obviously you get a lot of new cards with this one. Once again, like the core box, you get the printing of the front of the box inside the inside the box. Okay, let's do the cards first on this one, then we'll look at the models, just so we've got an idea of who the extra characters actually. So we've got 5 new characters. We've got ELEANOR, a human. We've got Gandalf, who's an Istari or a wizard. Dis, who is a dwarf. If I do it this way instead. Let's just show you the artwork again. Some really nice stuff on that. Bit not disappointed, is the wrong word, but the Gandalf card is the same artwork as the box itself. I feel they could have maybe done an extra bit of artwork, and the same with Balin. But yet the other dwarf, Dis, is that him on the box? No, it's not. It's a different dwarf. Okay. Balin was obviously a dwarf, and ARWEN, who's an elf. Balin is the same as the front box as well. ARWEN is obviously not on the box. But again, really nice artwork in these. Pop this back in that. Let's get to the minis. Okay, right. So, again, just bear with me a second while I segregate out all the different, oh God, that's horrible, types. Oh, that's grim. That is super grim. Why did I have to be spiders? Oh, was that? Oh, that was lost its head. I have to glue that back on. It's not a big deal, I don't think. Glue that bit of glue on that. I'll glue that back on easily enough. It is the only one of that model as well. So that must be like a boss character. Okay, so we've got goblins. Different goblin with a whip. We've got some sort of white. And then we've got all these bad boys. Oh, that's impressive. Let's leave them to last. Okay, so we've got, let's get that out of the way first, spiders, which is friggin' grim. That actually makes me cringe. There is a larger spider, so it's got the hooked tail on the end of the body, as it were, like a stinger. I will have to glue this back on, unfortunately, but this, again, there's not a lot that can be done about that, so I'll just pop a bit of glue on that, glue it on, and hopefully it'll survive. Then we've got some sort of groundworm, very reminiscent of Tremors. If anyone's seen the film Tremors, like a giant groundworm. There are 3 of these, 6 of the spiders as well, by the way. 2 more trolls, but a different sculpt from the one from the core box. It looks a lot more sculpted on the back with the skin or the hide, as it were, like a bone club as opposed to an axe or something that's refined. So it's just kind of found something. It could be like a leg of another troll, possibly. Just kind of pulled it out and just using that as a weapon. Fair enough. This looks like an orc or a goblin taskmaster or some sort. Let me see if the book says anything about names on these, actually. No, it does not. It just says enemies. Okay. Yeah, it's quite a nice whip on that. It's quite flexible. It's not going to break easy. It's got a lot of give to that. Then we've got, yeah, these are distinctly goblins, and they've got spears. And is that a mini pickaxe on the back? Looks like a mini pickaxe on the back. Then we've got these undead skeleton chappies, very reminiscent of the whites from the first one, but a lot more flowy. Got a sword and a shield with its helmet on, whereas the other one was kind of more like a robe or a cloak, rather. And then we've got this big bad boy. That's going to be the BALROG. His flaming sword, his flaming whip, that wingspan is cool. It's very, it's probably about the same size as Man-Bat from the Batman animated series game, which was unboxed earlier this week. Face looks a bit more like a skeleton face, but I don't hate it. But I think it's just because I'm more used to seeing the Balrog from Peter Jackson's variation of the work itself. Okay. Then we've got, I'm guessing that's ELEANOR? No, this one's ELEANOR. The one with the sword, I think, is ELEANOR. Because it's a human. Chainmail detail is really cool. Got the scabbard in the hand. Again, that's quite dynamic. This one's going to be ARWEN. The long elven ears and the long flowing gown and cloak. It's like a dagger as her weapon by the looks of it. She's holding something at her chest, but I can't make out what it is. It could be a necklace. Could be a potion. Not sure on that one. Then we've got Dill. I think is this chap. Yeah, it is, yeah. That's a nice hammer with that. Again, these are quite weighty. They're quite stout and they're small. They're a lot shorter than the other guys. They're in scale, but they feel quite weighty. There's a good heft to these, a good sort of bulk. And then you've got BALIN. There's, I don't think it's meant to be a two-sided axe, but you could probably use that as a two-sided axe. And he's got it's either a raven or a crow on his shoulder. The hair detail's incredible as well, fair play. And then last but not least, of course, is the wizard GANDALF. Again, there's a bit of curving on his sword inside the scabbard still, so we're going to have to try and do the hot water trick to sort of apply that back into a bit better shape. The staff's got some nice detailing on it as well. That's really cool. So yeah, so that's that expansion. Let me just pop these back into their bag. Balrog would want to play. Every little bit of this guy is just catching on the bag. There we go. Drop these 8-legged freaks in first. Do not like spiders. This goblin's alive. Put this one on the top, so that's immediate attention to glue that back on. Okay, put these back in here. Put that back there. And then we move on to the final box in this particular unboxing video, which is the Spreading War expansion, which arrived this afternoon. I was still at work. Well, still working. I'm still working from home at the moment, given everything that's going on. So this arrived this afternoon. So this one we've got: war comes to Gondor, Rohan and Gondor. There is trouble now on all our borders, and we are threatened. But we desire only to be free and to live as we have lived, keeping our own and serving no foreign land, good or evil. We welcomed guests kindly in the better days, but in these times the unbidden stranger finds us swift and hard. Come, who are you? Whom do you serve? A quote from The Two Towers by Éomer. Bring the Shadow of War to Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth with Spreading War expansion. Within you'll find new heroes, enemies, journey map tiles, terrain and items to supplement all of your adventures. This expansion also unlocks a brand new 15-scenario campaign that challenges the heroes to battle ruthless mercenaries across the wide plains of the Riddermark, in the tangle of Fangorn Forest, and through the haunted ruins of Osgiliath. Ooh. Can you protect the lands of Rohan and Gondor? Prepare your heroes and ride to battle in Spreading War. That's that one. Oh, Rags is coming to ruin the day by the looks of it. So again, we've got some different artworks. We've got some battles going on there with some, I'm guessing that's a Rohan. It's a horse, definitely a horse there with a bunch of orcs. I'm guessing that's part of the Rohan army. And then we've got a dragon. Or it could be a fell beast. Yeah, it's a fell beast on this particular side here. That. So, as always, rulebook. It's about the same thickness. No, it's a bit thinner actually. I think it's a bit thinner than the previous expansion. Yeah, so just sort of tells you what's in the box, tells you a couple of bits and pieces, change it what? Okay, that's interesting. We'll cover that in a sec. Rags are just sat on the bottom step, just staring. Oh my god, that's nice. Sorry folks, you're going to get to see more tiles. If I can figure out where to cut this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, here we go. Hopefully that's not encroaching too much on the camera. I haven't got a box. So that looks like Fangorn. It's a very old, gnarled looking forest. It's pretty cool. Opposite side of that. Oh, what is that? Okay. It's a lot of castle-like terrain, so I'm guessing that's parts of its Gileath. More old forest. More Osgiliath stuff with the ruined tower by the looks of it. Just on the bottom now, the ruined tower. Part of a village. It's an encampment and a barricade. Oh, that's cool. This whole tower here, the detailing on that is incredible. Oh, geeking out so hard right now. What the hell is that? It's a weird looking structure there. It's like a well or a pool of some sort. The other end looks like a proper sort of like mini, not lake, but like a part of a swamp kind of thing maybe. And then you've got this here. The detailing on that's crazy. That's Rags on his scratching post. Hi Rags. So again, a bunch of cards. I'm not going to go through all the cards. Okay. Hi. Oh. Hiding under the box. So, once again, we've got the artwork on the inside of the box itself. I hope you can see that with Rags' button away. Hey, kiddo. Oh, make you jump. Hello. You're gonna pop it under there, okay? Okay. Hello. Good boy. Okay, so we'll start with the character cards first. So I get a bit worried about I didn't see the other the figures in there. So 28 figures in the box, and I could only see this one bag. I was like, oh. Okay. Okay, so we've got DWALIN, dwarf, and FREAHILD, a human. It's part of the Rohan army, or the Rohirrim, by the looks of it. Then we've got Runarian, who's an elf. Definitely set before the time of the ring. I mean, Bilbo is obviously there, but Boromir is here as well, as a human. Captain of Gondor. Then we've got Calamint Took, who's another Hobbit figure, or another Hobbit character to be able to play as. And then we've got, this is interesting, so we've got BEORN, who's a Beorning, who has the ability to change into a bear. I saw that on the box, fighting what looks like the Fell Beast, just in this corner here. And I thought, hang on, is that a Beorning? And I'm right, that is a Beorning. So fair play, that's going to be interesting to see how that mechanic works. Okay. So let's start from, this is difficult to know where to start from. This is what I want to do last. So let's do the hero figures first this time. Okay. I'm going to butcher some of these names so I don't remember two of the names of the characters. Oh, hi Rags. Hey, hello. Coming to help me. Oops. Hi. Oh, no, you're just coming to bat me away. So there's, let me just pull the cards back out to see the names. What are you doing? No rags. It's not clawing time. Where are we? So, oh, hello. I'm surprised they didn't put the Rohirrim person on a horse, actually. Is it that one or is it that one? So, rags, what are you doing? Okay, let's start with the ones I know. So that's Boromir. It's blowing the horn of Gondor. This full armor. Again, that's pretty cool. Cape on the back. I'm going to get away with painting that with a tree of Gondor on the back. Then we're going to have DWALIN. That is a long spear. What's that? It's a dwarf, rags. Okay. Then we've got Calaminth Took. That's a great club. That's a great pose. That's just like a badass hobbit. It's like, don't give her no lip. She's going to crown you on with that club. Then we've got BEORN, human form, with an axe. Obviously barefoot because shoes would just tear straight off. So he's got some sort of bracelet on as well. But that's very muscular pose on that one. Then his bear form. That is fierce. That's incredible. And then we've got, let's have a look. Rag, stop it. FREAHILD. This is this one with the Rohan shield and a little sort of dagger. I think I probably preferred that with more of a short sword as opposed to a dagger, but okay. Or even a spear, or a pike, rather. And then we've got Renarian, who's going to be the elf. Rags. Again, the arrows kind of suffered a little bit of warping on that, so I'll just do that hot trick and the hot water trick, and then bend that back into shape. Okay, so let me pop these back in their respective bag a second. Rags, what are you doing? What? What's the matter? Sniff. No? It's come to ruin another video, huh? You'd swear. Oh, what are you doing? You'd swear I just like I mistreat this cat the way he's clawing at me all the time. But I don't, honest. You can ask Leanne, I absolutely don't. He gets his way all the time, don't you? Well, nearly all the time. I'm a bit more stern than Leanne is with him, but sometimes you need a bit of a stern hand, don't you, kiddo? Okay, so I'm going to do this again. I'm going to separate these out into the types. Just to know what I've got. Rex, stop it. Rex, stop it. Okay, so I've got 6 of each of these. So I've got what looks like an orc pikeman, possibly. It's hard to tell from the face, actually. It could be a form of Easterling, but I feel like that's not quite right for that. I do wish the rulebook had said what each of the models were. That would have been really helpful. Hey. Just double check. Yeah, it just says soldiers. Okay, here's where it is. And then we've got this chap who's definitely an orc. He's a little bit bigger, so he might be an Uruk-hai, actually. And again, he's got that hammer, kind of very... It just looks like a piece of stone that's been strapped to a stick. So they've just taken any old thing they can find, and they're just going to smack someone upside the head with it. Because that's what they do. Very, very crude tools of war. Now you've got an hour and a half till food time, Rags. Okay. So what do we have here? So 3 of the same figure. This is an orc on a WARG. That's really cool. The log on the bottom of that. So he's gonna. I would say it's like not a slingshot. So you sort of fling it around and. Is it a slingshot? Is it a sling? I think it'd be called a sling, wouldn't it? That's really cool. Oh, looks like he's bare-chested as well, so it's not much protection on that guy. But then he does have a pauldron on one side. But then it does have some sort of belt across the chest, so it could be part of that. Either way, that's really cool. So I've got 3 of them particular models. We've got this big bag. Let's see what's in here, shall we, Rags? Okay. Just going to pull these up gently as opposed to just dumping them on the table. These look like they're a bit more, not delicate, but they're a bit more. Ooh, there's a lot of parts on these. Wow. Okay, that's cool. So we've got these, I can't think of the word, like the towers you push up to the battlements, the troops inside, and then it would drop down the bridge. Rags, what do you want? And they would sort of storm the battlements. That's really cool. Again, quite a solid weight to that. It's really hefty. It's not hollow, it feels solid. Then we've got 3 same sculpts. Yeah, so same sculpts. So these are the Fell Beast. It's got armor on this head. You can see it's all the way armored. I'm surprised there's no ring wraith on that. Ow, ow, that was close. No. It's a really cool sculpt. The holes in the wings. It's clearly seen some battle over the years. And then the final model for this particular one is a Mumuk. That is really cool. The armor on the head, very well detailed. Almost like armoring on the tusks. That could just be to inflict more damage. Tail's quite flat to the body. I guess it would be in terms of that. It's kind of in times of battle, the elephant probably doesn't, well, I say the elephant, the Oliphaunt doesn't quite know what's going on, probably. The ears as well. That's a very stylized ear. It kind of reminds me of dreadlocks almost. But it's the actual ear of the Oliphaunt. Wow. That's badass. That's really cool. Yeah, so there we have it. That's everything from those 3 boxes. I'm just going to pop these back in here briefly. Hopefully I can fit this back in there without having to hide the other model bags underneath like they had it originally. He says, hoping. I think it's a bit of a lost cause. Okay. Okay, whoops. Let's pop these back in here. So that was the unboxing of the Journeys of Middle-earth, the core game, the Shadowed Paths expansion, and the Spreading War expansion. As stated earlier, we'll be getting the other 2 smaller boxes. There's Dwellers in Darkness and the Villains? I keep saying Villains, I don't know why. The Villains of Eriador packs, which are getting reprinted, I've been assured, in March of 2022. We are December 2021 now. Not to date this video too much, but okay. But I will be picking those up in time when I can, without paying ridiculous extortionate prices on eBay or Amazon or all these scalpers sort of start selling them. So yeah, here's the entire 3 boxes together. The artwork is beautiful and I'm really looking forward to playing this. Won't be able to do so until Leanne's better, unfortunately, but she's on the mend, so it'll hopefully be very soon. Same with Batman. We've had a few comments in regards to the Batman unboxing. People want to see the gameplay of it. People want to see us talk about the cards and the character stats and things like that. That is something we will want to do very shortly. Or, oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. It is something that we will be doing. But we need, obviously, to be Leanne at 100% help before we can do that. So look forward to that. We will be doing playthroughs of the Turtles game as well, which is in the same orgs system, the Adventure Universal Game System from IDW Games. So the Batman and the Turtles, as already pre-mentioned, they sort of work in well together with each other. So we'll be doing playthroughs of both of those and anymore. If there's any other games you've seen us unboxing, we've got Resi 3, we've got Nemesis. We are planning on doing a lot more board game stuff, but it's just a case of finding the time and obviously everyone being up to full health with it. So but yeah, look forward to that. Subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so when we do put these videos up, you make sure you get those notifications. So when we do eventually do the Journeys of Middle-earth or the Batman or the Turtles or the Nemesis or whatever, you're going to know as soon as that video drops, you'll get a notification going, hey, you know, Lee Allen Presents put a new video up. It's this. Come and watch it. As such, if you did enjoy this video, if you did enjoy the unboxing, let us know in the comments below. Hit the like button. Just make sure you let us know, and we can keep putting up this content for you. Let us know what you like about the video. Let us know what you don't like about the video. Do we spend too much time focusing on the models? Do you think we should go through all the cards? Let us know what you think in the comments below. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got today. So that was that. Thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to play this. I'm so excited. But yeah, let us know. Yeah, I'm stumbling now. That's not a good sign, is it? Join us for the next video. Don't know what the next one's going to be just yet. But keeping our eyes peeled. It will be up soon. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you. Bye for now.